Hey Dana.
Hello.
Are you guys free or are y'all still doing D&D stuff?
We're done now.
Okay.
So you
I'm just
might.
waiting for Derek for some help.
Yeah, you can probably abduct him for a little bit of that.
Yeah, they're using the old.
Yeah, that's
Alright. I'll just message him.
shit, what am I doing?
Oh god, I broke everything. Ah, this project's killing me.
I am bad at coding.
I don't know, it's just that I can get what I need when I need it, but I can't get it right now. I have done so much to this and it's just breaking it. Oh, my page loaded back up. That's a good sign. Yes, yes, each other show the key, yes. Holy shit, there's no errors. Oh! I'm getting somewhere. Why is it?
I guess I'll just stream the drafts and stuff too.
Yeah.
For now. I'll swap if we get other people, then I can swap or whatever. But we'll
Have
see.
they started yet?
They're getting set up, I think.
Okay. Oh, wait. That's a totally different link than I got. Whatever. I'll use yours. Hi, Reese.
Yeah, it'll actually be interesting to see some of these teams playing. Since what are Pinkwards has a little bit of a mix of some old faces and some new faces.
What are Pinkwards is Iros, right?
Yeah. So formerly Sharknadoes. And then we have All American Rejects, which is Pichaku and Friends, but a lot of those friends are kind of new to here as well. We've seen Stoverade around, and we've seen. I know one of the registered mid laners is Darktavian. I don't know if that's actually his playing today. I kind of was not paying attention to the usernames in the lobby.
Playing wise, have we seen these guys play? I think we've seen what our Pinkwards play.
We've seen what our Pinkwards. They actually have scrimmed a little bit. We haven't seen much of All American Rejects at
We
all
haven't seen
recently.
not an official game though.
Yeah, correct. No,
Okay.
yeah, this is their first. This is both of their first official matches.
This is their playoffs. This is their debut.
Mm-hmm. Man, who's been in Rengar? Who else plays Rengar? Wait a second here. I like the Yasuo ban, you know. As we know, Iroh's the anime swords boy. For sure.
Oh, that's something I forgot I gotta do. Fuck. Okay. This will be interesting.
Derek's just getting back to his desk, so.
There's a rush. I messaged him to rush. I have next week to get this all done, so the design-wise shouldn't be a problem. It's just trying to get this to work.
Oh, I think the roster thing. I think Stoverid's been playing some mid actually today, and they've had Cody was tiny playing jungle, so they might not have maybe their standard fifth person.
Okay, start with a Fiddledix.
Oh man, yeah. Let's actually that they feel more confident dealing with Rowdy's Fiddlesticks, which you know Rowdy played it like 2 games in the first season and then never ever again.
With good reason.
Okay, blind pick top.
Rumble mid's a thing. Possibly.
Rumble and jungle, possibly
Rumble,
too.
yeah, jungle Rumble. Oh, Cody was tiny. He does play some Rengar. Wow. Oh my God, there's a lot of Rengar in there. So yeah, okay. Oh yeah, he's played 55 games of Rengar season 2021. So okay, never mind. I was like, why are we banning Rengar? You know what? Good reasons. We're going with a Sivir pick, which is pretty.
Jot
exciting.
that down. Write that down.
Oh yeah, no, that's going to my spreadsheet right now. I'm like, holy shit. Okay.
Sivir ADC.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Sivir's been just kind of in a weird spot lately.
Sivir Rel? That's an awkward combo.
That's like some super.
But it's
engaged,
late.
though.
That's super late game.
Yeah, but like, there's some pretty good engage there. And since Sivir gets movement speed when she autos, they might be able to like maneuver around to get the rel stun a little better. But we have Hecarim.
Hecarim?
Hecarim.
I don't know. We have one team that's picked their bot side, the other team has not.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting because I think what most teams draft their bot lanes
like
in
low
first phase.
priority.
Yeah, we're like bot lanes in such a sorry state. We're like, yeah, I don't know, pick whatever you want. We'll save all our secrets for later. Screw you guys.
Samira bands, okay. Oh, they're just hovering it? Yeah.
I'm looking for some sort of like front line who can absorb Hecarim engages here for what are Pinkwards.
Yeah.
I won't say it. It's okay. For WAP.
I mean, Crimson Chin is their top laner now in what are Pinkwards, and he has a pretty decent pool.
That's kind of interesting. They banned out ADCs.
Yeah, I do not know too much about the other people.
We don't know these teams.
Yeah, there's. I think his Curvius. His summoner name is with a C, but since his Discord name is with a K, I'm gonna hope it's just Curvius.
They banned out ADCs, but they forgot to ban the most broken.
It's a possible thing. The Leona.
Ooh, that's a lot of front line. Ooh.
That's pretty safe to pick with the possibility of Peter getting some sort of things. I mean, we don't really know where this Rumble's going per se. I think I've seen. I just don't look up the match history really quick. Stover did play a game of Rumble mid.
Yeah.
So.
And like Ben said, I don't think Pichaku's gonna want to play
Some of his favorites.
Fiora or Quinn into Malphite.
Yeah. Diana. That's
No,
exciting.
now they have like a really pretty good dive comp with the Diana Malphite fiddle.
Yeah, I think that they just, it's push R, run forward, as we might be familiar with.
Yes.
But
push R, run forward.
yeah, but the one thing then is if they end up a little bit behind or on the back foot, right? It's a little hard to get like super good advantages with Sivir early. Like she's a lot safer and better later. Trying to find a way to play when if it's not going your way, that you can't just push R. That might be a problem. Switch to Stroom in my client. So definitely, I mean, I think once Pinkwards hit 6, they're gonna want to try and find a really good fight. So hopefully they can hit that around maybe like when a dragon fight occurs, and they can snowball off of that maybe. One thing is like they still have to be pretty careful about like funnel areas, right? Rumble can make a funnel very damaging very quickly. And like Hecarim and Jhin and Set all have, straight line abilities that hurt a lot too. Or, can mess you up.
Yeah. The nice thing about that Set pick is he can take people out of your team.
Mm-hmm.
So if Diana dives in, he can ult her back out before her ult completes.
Do that with the fiddlesticks possibly as well.
Yeah. So I think that's actually like a really smart pick.
Yeah, I did notice that there was a little bit of Set in Pichaku's match history at one point. So that was very fun to see what he's been trying out.
Coming in with the perfect timing as the series comes to an end.
But yeah, I think since Cody was tiny, plays a lot of Rengar, that probably is just that's probably a must ban for on the side of Pinkwards. Especially if Rowdy is playing something more of an assassin and not something a little tankier. Rengar's, because he can get ferocity really quickly in the jungle. So even at level 1, so Rengar is like quite good at picking off really weak junglers in their own jungle.
Yeah.
I definitely have never done that, and you've definitely never been on the receiving end of that. Ever.
No, because my team, my mid laner would always listen to me when I tell them to go ward my red, bro, and it would always happen.
So I mean, I don't know. Where are we thinking we're seeing ganks or first or when? Fiddlesticks likes to just kind of safely farm to 6 quickly. Um, from what I would think, it's just there's a lot less risk of falling behind if you just hit your 6 and then come in guns ablazing. But Hecarim has a lot of opportunity before there.
Yeah, I think early trades top will be interesting. I think it's Malphite into set, and Malphite he thrives on the poke with corrupting and comet, but it's set who thrives on not getting poked,
Right.
or just restoring up with his passive. So that lane's probably a bust. You might have a low mana Malphite to gank, but set's not going to be too low HP. Bot lane, nobody ganks bot lane. So
no one goes bot. But I mean, both of these teams have new bot lanes to the scene, right? So maybe people do gank bot. Maybe people say, let's exploit new people.
But I think mid lane is pretty volatile, and if you can get Diana going and she can one-shot Jhin every team fight, that's what you're looking for from WAP, and vice versa. If Stoverate on the Rumble can get an item advantage for that first dragon, Fiddle ult is good, but
if you have to walk over a Rumble ulti, you're gonna slowly wither up and die.
Yeah.
I do think if What Are Pinkwards falls behind a little bit, I think they're gonna have a hard time finding someone for the Diana to really kill, because the only person that she's really gonna be able to catch by surprise, I think, is Jhin. You can't really. Rumble likes to itemize some health, I think, generally. So he's probably. I mean, Diana jumps on you. You toggle your scrap shield to go fast and shoot her with your electro harpoons, and you just run away. But Ben does bring up that Archlector said a good fiddle ult changes the game. So if you hit the perfect one, it fears everyone, and Diana gets her way in. That could spell disaster if all of their main damage is gone on the side of All American Rejects.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot more threat from What Are Pinkwards. They really have 4. I guess it depends on what Malphite's building. So they've got 3 or 4 will burst one-shot your squishies and can still do decent damage to your tanks. And for All American Reject, is that what it is? All American Rejects, yeah. Most of their eggs are going to be in the Jhin basket and the Rumble ulti basket.
Yeah.
If Hecarim gets big, then he'll do damage too, and it's not like Set doesn't do damage, but your hard carries are going to be the Jhin and the Rumble.
This is a Comet Malphite, so I mean, normally I would say yes, that is the way to go, but in the set of all things, I think Grasp is actually the better option, because you're just going to waste your Comet, and he's just going to regen it.
Yep.
Normally, I am not a fan of Grasp Malphite these days. What is the zoom out? Control Alt Z.
Control Shift C, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
You don't need to be like super zoomed out all the time,
Right.
but like
I mean, I
when
think
we
having
come
a
in-
little bit out for just the normal viewing is pretty beneficial.
Yeah.
Max zoomage.
I'm not gonna like all the way out, but you know, you can see a little bit more than normal. So I've never seen Iroh with the Diana, so that's pretty exciting. Crimson Shin's electing to go Doran's Ring first and not just straight up into Corrupting Pot. Oh, hello, Lusty.
Hi, I'm late, but I'm here. How was the draft?
It was pretty interesting. Apparently, All American Rejects has a slight like roster shift. So Stoverade, who's like generally a jungle main, is going mid, and they have another guy or gal, another person in their jungle role, who's like a Rengar one trick. So Rengar has to be banned.
Gotcha.
It seemed like a pretty boring level one, but Malphite and Fiddlesticks are near the red buff. And they have a lot of wards set up.
Yeah.
Mike about to walk in. I don't know if they have kill pressure per se, but they can probably get a sum.
No, it's set.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
just jogging out. It's whatever.
And this actually delays Fiddle quite a bit because there's enough pressure that I don't think he's gonna.
He might be
Is he
trying
gonna
to
start
steal
the-
raptors.
He is deciding to start the
They're
red.
getting pinched though. Peachak is actually taking a lot of damage. There's the
Yeah.
sum.
Now they get the sum. Pichaka can regen here a little bit.
Roddy does have smite.
This is a,
Oh man, they're just in the
yeah.
Hecarim's coming up the
Rumble,
river.
Rumble ignited Fiddle.
Oh no. Iroh's
Malphite
coming,
is
but
1
he's
HP.
like the whole the run around, and man, Hecarim just gets to run in.
Oh,
He's just gonna auto queue. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my lord. This Hecarim has Ghost, so that's how he got there extra fast, because if he had Flash, he might have honestly just tried to follow.
Yeah. That
That changes a
That-
lot of things.
that means Hecarim will be a carry threat.
Here it goes.
Yeah, that's rough. And we actually it was a good call for Hecarim to run up while that fight at red buff was happening. He was actually running straight to Rowdy's red, and
I mean,
then they called him away, and he came back up
yeah,
and he
I
gets
mean,
the
there
double
were
kill.
two
So
people on a silver platter for him, so definitely a good change of plan.
Okay, Discord. Whatever.
So now you need to be thinking about what you can do against Hecarim. Rowdy did get his blue, which actually saved him getting that level 2 and getting the fear,
Yeah, and make sure he doesn't just die again.
but he loses Gromp, he'll lose his wolves, and he'll probably lose top scuttle at least.
Yeah. So definitely this means that, like, what our Pinkwards lanes need to play pretty stable. They can't go too crazy, right? Because otherwise, they don't really have a jungle that can bail them out if something goes wrong right now.
Yep. To that matter, Iroh's pushing up.
Hecarim is real close.
He does
doesn't
have a
even
ward on
know.
the side, but
Hecarim's
he's coming around.
Yep. Ira's favorite thing.
And Iroh doesn't have flash. He used it.
Yep. So he's probably just gonna
Uh,
slowly burn here, and it goes onto the
yeah.
Hecarim again. Yikes.
Blue
Team's
team's
coming
bot
up.
lane is ganking the Hecarim though.
Wait.
This might
Hello?
be really big.
They have him
He's
ignited.
ignited?
Oh my lord! It's just like
It's
that.
huge.
Yeah, that's a
Shut
giant
out the
step down.
server is massive.
Yeah, just like that. And that means that they can help Rowdy secure the bot scuttle, which would be nice. So that was a good move. They didn't really end up conceding that much farm. They had pushed up beforehand, so that's a really good play from What Are Pinkwards.
Yeah.
Just from that puts Sivir 400 gold ahead of Jin.
Yeah.
And
Heckram still has double fiddlesticks.
Yeah. But it's all off of kills, so I mean once Fiddle gets a little bit of items he can clear his camps pretty quickly too. So
They're able to pick up most of this wave.
it's not a bad deal.
What is that item? It's the new Phage.
No, it's not the new Phage because Phage still exists. It's a parallel to Phage, Hearthbound Axe.
Right.
But
It's
Yeah.
Gives you movement speed on
It
movement
gives you
speed on autos.
it's the version of old Phage except that Phage exists with a different passive. So
yeah.
Right.
Heckram is on the
Axe have a
is
little
on
more
the
on it?
dragon. It looks like.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, it avoids this massive like level 6 team fight with Malphite, Fiddle, Diana, and
Mhm.
having them Sivir ulted to zoom into your backline. They just get this drag for free. There's absolutely nothing blue team can do here.
Yeah, I mean Rowdy's not in a position to like walk too far out. I mean, and their bot lane, right? They had just come up to get something, but they didn't have time to be. They had to receive the wave, so you know it's a little risky to try and go for 2 big plays.
Yeah,
in a
and
row.
now we're gonna see a collision here. They did not see Heckram coming through mid lane to the Raptors. He gets the smite off.
Okay, he fears 1. Iroh is 6, but I don't think it's quite enough right now. Rumble has
Yeah.
a blasting wand, and Diana only has an amp tome.
Yeah, that was actually really well played by the Hecarim. You could see on the map, we didn't see it on the screen, but you could see it on the map. He dipped behind the mid lane tower and never hit minion vision. So he was able to just sneak in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be completely doom and gloom here, but it's looking quite difficult for
This is,
Is it
yeah.
What Are Pinkwards to come back from this? Is
Yeah.
that blue
What are
team?
Pinkwards is
Yeah.
blue team. Yeah, I definitely think, right, if all American rejects can just play a slow game and not get caught by any like level 6 fiddlesticks tricks and things like that, they should be able to just slowly extend their lead. But they do have to be pretty good on their vision, right? Because like one good fiddlestick ult could change a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if Hecarim blows his E on the Sivir spell shield, then maybe the team fight can swing around the other way.
Yeah,
But
I'm
this
not
is a
saying
lot
it's
of-
impossible, but it's got a lot of things have to
There's
happen.
there's a lot of weight behind this train right now.
Yeah, and so the other thing that I don't necessarily like about the draft from What Are Pinkwards is, how are they killing the set? How are they killing the Hecarim, who are going to have tank stats and a lot of HP?
Yeah, they don't. Sivir's not really a shred-oriented ADC.
Yeah. It kind of felt like maybe if the game were in an even state, they'd probably have enough like AoE damage to chunk the tanks down while they kill the backline, and then they can go clean up the tanks. But when the tanks are ahead,
Yeah.
it's not like you can ignore them anymore and kill the backline. Now the backline and the tanks are both going to be the threat, and that's what makes these team fights really hard.
Yeah, and it looks like Set at least has picked up a Vamp Scepter. So I don't know if that means just like an early Blade of the Ruin King or something, or if it's something more like a Gore Drinker that could be happening. There was a teleport attempt, but it was canceled from top lane. And Fiddlesticks was on the way, but it's just a little bit too late. And really, Hecarim came from bot side?
Bot side.
So, like, there's ward coverage on blue side of where he probably would have come in from.
I think he came behind the Rumble and ganked from the top side, though, didn't he? I think he pushed through mid lane behind the Rumble out of vision of
maybe.
blue and ganked from top side river.
I can't remember. I already forget. I don't want to write back because then we'll just get further behind.
Yeah.
The thing, but yeah, like I don't remember. If it was from bot, side though, like that definitely should not have happened, right? There's a board in the bush. It's a Pinkward and Pixel, right? You'd be able to see Hecarim going into your side of the jungle. But yeah, I think I'm misremembering. I think it was from top side.
Yeah.
On the point of the tank shred, that's kind of why I'm surprised that the Diana didn't build to a Rift Maker rather than either Night Harvester or Rocket Belt, what she's building.
Yeah.
That would have helped a bit there with the true damage from Void
Maker. I also think Fiddle could be going like Leandre's.
Right.
But he's going for Rocket Belt, probably.
Alright, got a little excitement bot. Some good body blocking. I wish that it didn't just look at the gen when he was ulting and instead look at it.
That's when you zoom out.
I'm not that fast on the draw. This is new.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting here, like, you know, my face is resting on my hands going,
Rumble's coming down.
Yeah, so are Diana and Fiddle, though, so.
Yep.
They spotted them with the minions, though. But this could, I mean, Hecarim's top, right? This could evolve quickly to something around the dragon.
Yeah.
They don't positively know that Hecarim's top, I guess, right? But he might have run it through and ran back out. But it looks like they are making the call to go the dragon, right? And, I mean, Hecarim can get there still pretty fast. He has Ghost if he really wants. Thresh could lantern him closer. Over the wall, maybe. But it's gone. And they might be able to turn on Rumble then. And he has a shutdown.
Hopefully it goes on Diana.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's good, because that definitely gets the Diana a little bit back into the game. She's only 300 gold behind the Rumble now, just about. A little more than that. So
Hecarim's still 2k up on Fiddle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely, like, Hecarim's been creeping his way into the jungle a little bit and just, like, taking a look around, right?
Yeah. It's hard for them to do anything about Hecarim invading the Fiddle, just because that massive lead he's built already.
And so, like, one thing, right, is that maybe you need, maybe laners do need to be putting wards at jungle entrances just so that you can see him coming.
Yeah.
That was, man, it's not enough to save, but, oh, wait. Hello? What's going down? Amazing.
Got a little greedy.
Yeah, that was a really good play, though, to do the, like, unmount or mount mechanic on Rel to get him stunned under tower. And, like, we haven't seen too much Rel, right? Even, like, she came out and everyone's like, yeah, but Seraphine. So, there's a lot about the champion that, like, not too many people are familiar with.
I think, if anything, greed will be the bane of Red's side here.
Right, they might try and bite a little bit too much.
Right.
So that's coming, and I don't doubt that if the Fiddlesticks keeps tanking the Rift Herald, that...
Rumble's coming with ulti.
Oh, man, they're, like, right on it. But they still... Oh, that shield. Oh, man.
And the Herald's still out.
And Red gets it. Triple kill. Herald.
It was very well played by Red Team. You could tell, like, Peter was being told, hey, we're coming, and all he had to do was stall time.
Right, he was really patient before he used his W as well to get that giant shield. He was getting really low.
Yeah.
But, he had to just wait as long as he could to make sure that his teammates would make it.
They don't get the Herald before plates, but, they were 300 HP on the Herald from getting it at all. So they'll take it. Yep.
Yeah.
And now Set's free to roam.
Yikes. Yeah, Set hasn't even backed in a while still, so...
What's up with that brush outside of Drag Pit?
Whatever in spectator, it's just like kind of transparent for whatever reason. It's bizarre.
That's kind of funny.
Sometimes like infernal rifts will have like this like pulsating texture that the transparency just doesn't work. And it looks really bad.
Yeah, flash out of Rumble.
Oh man. So this was that was a really uncoordinated looking dive. I mean, maybe it was coordinated, and then they just didn't know what to do after Rumble flashed out.
Yeah,
And now they're being hunted down. But they might get this Hecarim first, which is actually huge.
The Sivir baited that really well.
Yeah, they sent it out
Jack gets
first.
the double stun though, and we have
but
Jin
Jin-
ulting from the bot side.
Ooh, that was a really
It's
good.
a great remount.
Yeah. Definitely, they just need to try and get out of that, but Fiddle went through the threshold, which means that that's a guarantee you're not making it out.
Yeah.
Love myself like a 90% slow.
So it was a weird dive that turned into a good bait to at least turn it into a 2 for 2. You know, they made the best of the worst situation there that they put themselves into.
Yeah.
But Red Team has had a couple of really good collapses here. So yeah, that's something. It looks like Sivir went Gale Force instead of Kraken Slayer, which is, I'm sure Gale Force is the normal thing for Sivers. It's gonna be it just means, you know, they really have no way to cut through Hecarim and Set.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe at least the survivability of being able to dodge out of something important, maybe that allows Sivir to get more damage done. Not if Rumble just
A lot for the Rumble
runs her
ulti.
down in the flamethrower though and takes half her health. That's scary. Dragon spawning, and I mean Red Team is ready to go pretty much. Like Jin's just coming off of a back, but Set's already down here, right? There's a 2-level lead on the jungler on the Hecarim versus Fiddlesticks. So even if Fiddlesticks, ults in and fears them, right? Hecarim can still outsmite. But
I'm thinking it's going to be a give.
Yeah, I mean
I don't think
Malphite's
they can fight
just
this.
top, so
Yeah.
I mean there's no way.
Their biggest engage ulti.
Yeah, like you definitely I think need the Malphite before the Fiddlesticks at this point. I mean Fiddle does have stopwatch, but if you can lock them inside of it for even longer than you would with fear, like that's some of your best chances of getting
That's the
damage
problem
down.
with the Set having the pressure he has top side is Malphite gets locked in lane a lot.
Yep.
Can't join these fights.
Right. You want to set it up so that at least when you go somewhere
Something's
else,
gonna
you
happen here. Oh, they have him warded.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Fiddle,
Fiddle.
on Set.
I think they need to. I think ideally you would chain the CC a little better to try and prevent Set from getting the W at all, but they still managed to come out on top, which is good. And everyone else is gravitating towards mid, so Malphite doesn't need to immediately back or anything, and can at least get this wave pushing.
yeah, so that kill gave Fiddle enough gold. He did go. Is that Night Harvester?
Yes, that is Night Harvester.
We're fighting again.
Man, that was
The box damage.
yeah, that was so close to a really good catch. But they didn't quite have enough damage to finish off the Rumble before the rest of the cavalry made it. And Sivir has no
Hecarim
turret in the
can
way.
find Sivir.
Sivir's in trouble. Wait, that missed.
She
but-
spell shielded the E, but yeah.
Yeah, there's very low chances that you can get anything else off of that, right? And so definitely I think this just compounds back to the tragedy of how the early game played out, right? Just Hecarim has immense pressure. just existing, like he doesn't even need to like be ganking, right? He can just be he could walk into the Fiddlesticks jungle at any time and murder this poor little Fiddlesticks. And they like, you know, they're doing a good job snowballing off of that, right?
Yeah. Hecarim has kind of just been everywhere. He's out farming. He's had free reign this entire game.
He holds about 4K of the 10K gold lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, like even the shutdowns that Sivir's been getting, she's still behind in gold and items to the Jhin.
Yeah.
And Jin's just gonna you don't really have any, like, you have Malphite as a tank, but one tank Jhin is perfectly fine with dealing with, and he'll be able to start one-shotting the Diana and
Yeah.
not one-shotting, but you know, fourth-shotting.
Bursting in a reasonable amount of time for Jhin.
Yeah. So, I guess Dragon's coming up in a minute. The red team is pushing down mid and getting pressure in the bottom jungle there. I think what blue team needs to do is to try and actually make the Wombo combo happen.
Yeah.
If they can land a four-person combo ulti on red team, then they can probably still win a team fight with this comp. But it's going to be hard, and you're going to have to make sure Malphite is actually there to begin with.
Yeah, he did just go B, but where he's actually deciding to go, it looks like he's just going back top.
Yep, and so that's the issue, is he has to go catch this wave that Set's pushing in, and the Set can TP away. The Set has an easier time TPing away from the Malphite than the Malphite will against the Set.
Yeah, and I mean, Set has a way to... I mean, they both have a way to stop each other's teleport, right? But Set's is, like, you know, a lot easier and not as important to save, right? Malphite ulti is so important for this comp. So if Malphite stops Set's teleport and then manages to teleport away himself, which is kind of unlikely. Oh man, it looks like we might attempt to yellow this a little.
Yep, and we're going for the combo.
But Sivir's outside of the pit. Like, there's no way that Sivir can get in there, which is a lot of their consistent damage. So, you know, conceptually it works, but I think the way that it happened, right, there was not enough setup to be truly prepared, right?
Yeah. It was kind of a 1x1x1x1 play there.
I mean,
you know, Fiddle went in, yeah, and then Rel had to jump in, and Rel hit a 3 or 4 man ulti.
Yeah, and then Malphite went in, teleported, and was in there, and then Diana flashed over.
I think on that play, if they engage from the top side of the pit rather than the over the wall,
right,
I feel like it goes better because the Sivir can actually get in and do something then.
Yep.
Possibly they might be able to pick a kill or two off.
Yeah, but that, like, yeah, but by separating themselves from the Sivir, right, there was very little chance, like, there wasn't enough damage going out that they could actually finish one person because all of it was, like, AoE instead of, like, targeted, like, ADC go kill the thing.
I'm pretty sure the Diana also had to come all the way around because there's no one close enough to the wall for her to jump onto.
I think she just flashed.
Yeah, she
over
just
the
flashed
wall.
over.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Which is why I was like, Hecarim's on the hunt though.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Sivir's making out. I think you have to like kite your best, right? Sivir gets movement speed on auto, so you'd have to like try and do your best to orb walk. To make sure you get out of that. But luckily, with enough people coming down, that made Hecarim reconsider. And, like, I'm sure that he probably could take one down still anyway. But, you know, at this point, right, it's just better to not throw your lead when you can.
Yeah. I think this game really just comes down to that level 1-2 play.
Yeah.
It just set the fiddle so far behind, and Hecarim was able to do whatever he wanted.
Like, it's, Fiddlesticks can be scary, but if you put him behind, right, he's not like a scary scarecrow anymore. He's just like a little pile of toothpicks.
Right.
And, like, you don't have anything to be that afraid of at that point because, like, he's just that far behind, and that's what they did here to Rowdy. And in which case, they let the Fiddlesticks through, so maybe this was, like, kind of their game plan since Rowdy is so known for his Fiddlesticks and, not being able to play some of his very loved junglers, that maybe he, you can bait it by just giving him the one thing and he'll jump at the chance. I don't know. Most people have a healthy respect of it just in case, though.
Well, do we have a win con for blue side?
Or it's gotta be a 5-man Wamba.
Yeah, it's got to be a severe wombo that allows them to pick
Gotta
up
have
the kills
the
and not lose
5-man
everyone.
5-man Malphite ulti into 5-man fiddle into Sivir Q going through them all Diana R.
Yeah.
And I think that might do it.
And honestly, though, they've got to do it multiple times.
Yeah.
This is a 15,000 gold lead. They only have 1 tower down. They maybe get 2 towers off of an ace.
Right. Yeah.
They have to throw it almost as hard as we threw our game against WMW.
Throws are great sometimes though to watch. It's like, I don't know, it just gets wacky and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not the one doing it, then I'm like, ah, shit.
The world's finest silver to plat gameplay that exists out there.
It's great.
In all reality, though, they're like right now they're playing too passive. They're slowly bleeding out.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, you're gonna slowly lose this game no matter what. So I think they just need to like
Just go in.
all base, and then just fucking YOLO it, right?
Right.
Take out one.
And right,
maybe
Crimson
pull
Chin
one.
is really good about
can I get this
keeping
set here?
some like good positive like thoughts about it, right? And if you just YOLO it, and you take one off of them when you're 15,000 gold behind, right? You're like, hey guys, we still have some good coordination, have some fun at the end.
Right.
And maybe that's about where they're at right now.
Go into something positive game 2.
Right now, in an ADC perspective, Sivir really isn't in a good spot. So
Ben cries.
yeah, it's not a bad choice, but there's better things you could go.
Yeah. So definitely, originally we thought, there's good chances, but then with that Hecarim spiraling out of control, that changed things significantly.
Yeah.
I believe after this one, they're going to be thinking twice about invading the level 1 play.
It definitely might be.
With a 6-1-17 Rumble, he's putting his R down and melting all of your team for half their HP. And then everything else on top of that.
If they're wanting to, if WAP wants to set up a wombo combo like that, they need to focus on getting at least like 1 or 2 people like fed. If you have like everybody start falling behind, that comp itself just falls behind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, but it's just like it's so hard at that point. Hecarim's so oppressive, right?
It wasn't the greatest start for Fiddle either.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like when you're a jungler and you're like crawling around for scraps, it's very difficult.
So I don't remember what all they banned game 1. I kind of think the Hecarim deserves the ban. Even if Hecarim didn't get those 2 early kills, he did still gank the Diana, 2 or 3 times, pre-6 almost. He made really good use out of her flash being down.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Got bans up right now.
So I mean, the Rengar, Anivia, Echo bans are all great bans because those are all tilting champions that, you want to avoid. But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see whether Pinkwards think the Hecarim is worth the ban, or whether they think the Hecarim just got 2 kills and was able to run away with the game.
That you get
Honestly, it's worth the ban. 10 out of 10
I think it's worth the ban. But
we're all over here on the fuck Hecarim squad.
It's worth the ban.
Preach.
I haven't seen I haven't done the scouting yet for either of these teams really. So I don't know if it's worth the ban more than the Echo or the Anivia are. I know Anivia is strong right now and probably shuts down a lot of what Ira wants to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nivea is a nightmare to play against with her slows, the just sheer damage she has
Yeah,
with
she's
her
now
R,
so bursty.
zone control.
It's kind of crazy.
Awful to play against, especially coming from a top lane perspective. So I heard there was some chats going on amongst captains. Was that decided whether Viego is on the table or not?
Ben usually says adapt or die.
Adapt or die.
Right. So
I just know that people were talking today.
yeah, I don't think we have finished that discussion. Right now, most people, or it's kind of an even tie between adapt or die and just a 1 patch ban.
One
Right.
patch?
Yeah. So you would have to wait. I kind of think it should just be 1 full league week.
Yeah, I think 1
So-
week would be fine. Like if it releases during, week 2 of the league or whatever, then
I would say it wouldn't be available until week 4 is what I think. So that, if it releases on Thursday, you don't have to, and your next match is on Monday, you don't have to play against them like right away that Monday. That's kind of what I think. But
But I mean, currently, is he available in tournament draft?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
If you
So-
own him, he's yours.
I mean, that is if people have played him enough, feel confident enough to play him. But I know
I thought-
personally in some games I've been absolutely destroyed by one.
Decimated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I outplayed Darius and I was like, holy shit. That's
I
not supposed
don't
to
think the
happen.
champ is balanced right now, but that may be personal opinion.
Yeah.
Depends on how you build them. If you build
So
a bruiser, it's just like, ooh, bleh.
so starting the game 2 bans, right? It's kind of going the same way. We've got some Yasuo bans. Kennen, got to get that Rengar off of the table. I mean, I think there is value on what our Pinkwards side of changing stuff out a little bit so that they don't fall into playing the exact same comps that just, ran over them, unfortunately.
The bane of existence, running it again.
Yeah, like nothing's more tilting than being like, man, we really lost to that, and then you're like, God, we gotta do it again. But nothing changed on the end of All American Rejects. They banned all the same things. But what our Pinkwards are electing to ban the Hecarim, which does mean that All American Rejects could probably just first pick Anivia. Unless there's something else more important that they want to grab first. Because I don't think Ira plays Anivia. But then again, I don't know if he plays Diana. But I don't know. Thresh doesn't seem first pick worthy.
Oh.
The only reason you would first pick him is maybe not to share what you're doing later, but I feel like if you're coming out of the gate that hard, like you did, like because you just won, right? I feel like you would want to grab something that feels really strong, like Jin, perhaps.
Yeah, no.
So I do like that they grabbed the Jin away. He's very strong. Too strong.
My Discord's breaking. Ugh.
Locking in the Rumble again means that Anivia probably wasn't even on the table.
Right.
Or they just really liked how it felt game one.
I'm sure when he's coming off of, what was he, 9-1-17?
Dude.
I think he's probably feeling pretty comfortable on Rumble. And Rumble's ulti is just such a huge team fight ult. Is
Yeah.
around Dragon, Baron. It's incredible.
I wonder, maybe with Jin and Janna. Jin gets to play back pretty far, and Janna has some disengage. I was going to say, if they draft a little bit of tankiness and, something that can be reasonably safe mid, Crimson Jin is one of the few people in this league right now that also plays Yorick. And, All American Rejects maybe haven't. I mean, Pichaku sure has had to deal with split pushes and stuff before, but maybe not necessarily with his team, right? And if you get a really good split push going, some people get so occupied by what to do about that they just slowly bleed out to a split push. But since they're going for Fiddlesticks again on our Pinkwards side, I don't know if that's a viable strategy.
I don't know if Iroh plays him, but I think Galio would be a really good pick mid right here. Some nice tankiness, and Rumble to get his Flame Spitter on needs to walk up in your face, and Galio can get a full combo off.
Yeah,
which does a lot of damage.
A really good pick. I don't know if Iroh has played or has been ever interested in Galio. It's not really his style of champion for sure. Apparently he's been playing Kennen mid a lot, which is why there are these Kennen bans.
It also pairs up fairly well with the Fiddlesticks ulti, a Galio ult.
Oh, that's true. Let the Fiddle go in, and then he's pretty safe with the Galio coming in right after. What our Pinkward says that Peter does not have to be on Orin duty. Whether he likes it or not. And they're electing for Mordekaiser. I have seen that in the Crimson Chin's match history.
And it's also something Iroh would play mid.
That's also true.
And I think in the Rumble, it's probably a decent matchup. You're both, manaless AP champions who want to get into each other's faces.
Yeah, I mean, when Mordekaiser ults people that have like ground effects down, it removes the ground effect, right?
Yep.
So you can remove Rumble ults from the playing field by taking.
I think Mordekaiser's a good matchup into Rumble.
The Warwick pick's pretty interesting. I mean, Warwick top has been increasingly a thing right now, but he hasn't been quite as good in the jungle just because Sunfire Cape is okay on him, and I don't know, without Tiamat his clear is pretty bad. Oh, but we are getting some
will be
Fiora.
Jungle Warwick.
I mean, definitely, right? If you just get Warwick to hold someone in place and drop a Rumble ulti on them, you're probably good. But then we could, right, this could be a Mordekaiser flex mid, and they could be locking in something top, but it's actually Mordekaiser top, and Iroh is probably going Olaf mid.
Yep, and Olaf will run down Rumble.
Yeah, it's true.
That is interesting. I don't know if I've actually ever seen an Olaf mid, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could swap too, and they could go Mordekaiser mid.
Iroh, I think, will play it anywhere. I don't think he mind any of the matchups. He probably has an easier time into Rumble than he does into Fiora. Just because Fiora can at least attempt to run, could potentially stun him early, and has a bit more sustain, but it's Mordekaiser levels 1 and 2, level 3 are some of the best in the game. So whichever lane he ends up in, the other player will definitely need to play pretty safe.
How do attack speed slows work into Olaf's ultimate? Do they affect him still?
I don't think they would.
Okay, I was
I'm
just
gonna go
wondering
look
because
this
the
up.
Fiora riposte would decrease Olaf's attack speed, which is
That gives you a
very
fighting
bad.
chance against him.
Yeah.
I would imagine those would be the same thing as most crowd control effects and be cleansed off.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
not
be back.
sure if an attack speed slow is a debuff and not a crowd control, then it would
Right.
affect him. The wiki says Ragnarok does not negate any debuffs other than crowd control from being applied unless necessary. But whether an attack speed slow is a debuff,
Because I think that's more of an annoyance than the slow movement speed slow on Fiora's riposte. Just
yeah.
walking up to her and hitting her once every 3 seconds just feels awful. Been on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
Man, I used to play like old Fiora a little bit, but that was like when I was a wee noob. New one's also too mechanical for my fucking butterfingers.
So WoW. Blah, blah, blah. What are Pinkwards? It did get the Jin this game. Servius gets the Kaisa, who is, I think, actually the highest win rate ADC right now.
Oh yeah.
Highest pick rate, highest ban rate.
Reddit's complaining, so you know it.
So I believe the attack speed slow won't affect the Olaf because it is the crowd control type of cripple that it applies.
Yeah. Although it does say that it's resisted by crowd control. Like a cripple is resisted by crowd control immunity and cripple immunity. So
No, I guess we'll see if it happens.
yeah, we'll find out, I guess. You're the one that's like hyper aware of it, so definitely yell if we see that and be like, "Oh my god, it's happening."
He can attack. Oh my gosh, because it feels awful. All right. So it is Iroh and Olaf mid.
Yeah, I mean they could definitely swap if they wanted to.
Right. But the Mordekaiser, that is possible because Fiora is probably Mordekaiser's number 1 counter
Oh, yucky.
because of the E. She can just riposte it
Yeah.
on site, and Mordekaiser gets stunned.
So
We'll see how that works.
yeah. I mean, I feel like, level 1, if Warwick gets 2 kills early, it's definitely not quite as runaway with the game-ish. Definitely, it doesn't make it easy, but it's not going to be as oppressive as, like, Hecarim.
Right.
But definitely, I think that maybe what our Pinkwards will maybe decide that playing a little more conservatively will be smart. I mean, Mordekaiser, like, level 1, Q auto gets his passive going, but, like, Olaf only has axes for the most part. And I don't even know if he starts axes level 1. Playing lane Olaf.
He does, and level 1 Olaf axes are like the strongest level 1 in the game.
Yeah, I guess because you keep running them.
Because, yeah.
But I mean, like, if you have to keep chasing them down, though, like that opens you, like, it's dangerous to keep running after them.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, guarantee or be working with your team to make sure you actually, like, capitalize or get something good out of that. So I feel like a more conservative start will be safer. Since what our Pinkwards are on red side, they can just get like a leash bot on the blue, which is probably a little more appealing for Fiddlesticks because he could probably grab the Gromp at the same time or in the process of it.
True. Yeah, I definitely hope there's no invade this time around. I hope that the solo lanes can help keep Fiddle safe in his jungle. I think Warwick's gonna have a much harder time just running down Fiddlesticks to begin with, but if he does get on him and can get him low enough, we should be able to chase him.
Yeah. Fiddlesticks, I mean, generally if Fiddlesticks multi-pulls camps, it doesn't make him any more weak because he like gets, he gets the suck on multiple camps then, right? But if he does drop pretty low, Warwick's somewhat nearby, Warwick will know. And that provides valuable information, right? If they see that Fiddlesticks is dropping low on bot side for whatever reason, right? Pichaku might feel really good about his level 6 or something, right?
Yep.
I don't
So
think anybody's gonna be trying to scrap with the Olaf early though. Like you said, Olaf is one of the strongest level 1 champions there is.
yeah, Iroh did play this Olaf in game 2 of our semifinals against BBW last year.
Yeah, he fucking swapped the top. I was unhappy.
Yeah, he definitely kind of carried the game away. That and stupid JoJo's Nico.
Yeah, they actually played Nico.
Nico mid too. So team fight wise, Fiora probably doesn't have as much presence as Set. We didn't actually have many team fights with Set in them.
Yeah, I mean, he was busy keeping Malphite visible.
Yeah. But he also did some really important plays like stalling the Rift Herald that Fiora is not going to be near as effective at doing. So the set ban, I liked that. I do like this posturing here from what are Pinkwards. It looks like they dropped the Fiddle effigy at his Wraiths, and so they have some vision there. And in case blue team does go for this invade, they'll be grouped up, whereas blue team will not.
Yeah, they're ready for the 5-man. They're even actually moving like to the other area as a 5-man still, just to make sure that everything's hunky dory. This maybe Fiddlesticks does want to just start Raptors again, because Raptors is a pretty quick clear.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Blue team though is looking like they're gonna go for a late invade. They haven't moved even to their red yet. So yeah, 3 seconds before the buff spawn, they're moving up to check it.
Yep. Luckily there is a ward on the blue, so they will see that they're there.
Yeah.
In which case, I would be very cautious as bot lane for a little bit.
And we see Olaf and Fiora are running straight towards the other blue buff. Olaf gets a ward. I can't tell if Fiora did or if she just checked it.
Yep, they're right on top of each other.
Yeah.
So,
I would expect
so we
some
might get
vertical jungling here.
Yep, all the magic words. So we do actually Crimson Chin and Iroh are swapping lanes right now. I think there's decent value in that, right? Someone mentioned that Fiora's like a really big Mordekaiser counter.
Right.
And I mean, Mordekaiser can do decently into Rumble, right? Because Rumble still has to get pretty close to do his damage.
That's a flash out of ADC and support and the heal out of the Jhin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was actually really well played by Bidoof. He flayed Jhin, and when he wound up for his hook, he went for Janna instead. So Jhin blew flash because he thought he was about to get hooked, and then Thresh wasn't even aiming for him. So the big brain plays off of the fast level 2, which is very important. Gets them 3 summoners for none.
They actually sent
That's
top and mid along with the jungle on All American Reject side to make sure that Fiddle did not get that blue buff. So Fiddle, he only gets to farm his 1 quadrant of his jungle super safely.
Yep.
Like Warwick took the Gromp before leaving the bot side jungle. So that only leaves wolves, and like contesting this top scuttle is a little risky. Olaf does have priority, and so does Mordekaiser, so maybe there's good chances there. But while this is going on, we're fighting bot. Rumble is gonna get pinched though, and he's in that was super dangerous. Fiora has so many procs to be able to get the vitals on.
Yeah.
And they sort of split their focus, right? Mordekaiser went for the low health Fiora, and that kind of bit them in the ass.
definitely an overchase there.
Yeah, and now all 3 of them go down, pretty much.
Fiddle's probably, yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
he
mega heal.
gets a couple of. I mean, I don't even know if he got any of those
He didn't.
raptors. It might have been Rumble's flame spitter.
He didn't get any.
Yeah, so all we did was successfully stall and still die.
That level 2 bot lane play is why we saw that Thresh first pick.
Yeah,
Absolute
I guess.
Giga Brain Thresh.
I guess level 98 Bidoof maybe is just like super comfortable on Thresh maybe and just doesn't care, right? And, like, if you don't want to show your cards, it's a perfectly good pick.
So I was really excited for Red Team going into that Scuttle fight because they have 3 champions who have crazy amounts of sustain, but then unfortunately, yeah, they all split and they put themselves into a bunch of almost 1v2s.
Yeah, separately.
Yeah, and so they weren't able to use that sustain to their advantage, and part of that I think will come as they grow together as a team. But unfortunately, we are now at the situation where Fiora gets a kill, Warwick's 2 kills up again.
Yep.
Rumble's got 3 assists, so they're feeling pretty good here on All American Rejects.
Yeah, I mean, the only saving grace just right now is that Rumble hasn't beat yet.
Yeah.
But, Mordekaiser has a wave to contend with, and, needs to try and pick up as much as he can since Rumble is now 3 assists up. And, it's pretty rough.
I think the biggest part of that mid lane matchup is going to be whether or not Mordekaiser can hit his E to get that magic pen and be able to get his passive up fast.
Yeah. We're watching
This is
some
the
of
chase
the
down
Olaf.
that-
Like, he had the Conqueror, but he chased.
no.
Yeah, Iro chases way too far, and there was that. I don't know if I guess I'll have to look. I'll have to zoom back.
It was
later.
the riposte slow
Yeah,
that stopped
yeah.
him.
I think it happened. So.
Yeah, but he didn't have ulti yet.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
That was the situation.
Yeah, but yeah, so definitely because the slow got him, and then since he overchased to go pick up his axe to try and get another hit, Fiora just dashed behind him, hit the vital, and he exploded.
That's the low health Fiora bait right there.
Yeah, Fiora's
And
back.
now we're looking for a
Completely-
dive here from Warwick.
Yep. Rumble's here too. They're getting a teleport,
Ward.
and honestly, I
He
mean,
takes Thresh. He should be able to.
Thresh should be able to stall pretty decently. I mean, they know that there's other people standing there, so they get to pop. They get to pop out and leave none the wiser. No problems. But drawing out that teleport, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, right? Because Rumble was already there, but you know, now they don't have to deal with that for 5 minutes or whatever. And I mean, Warwick had come bot. He went and took the dragon, and
We
now
might
he's
see a
just
fight
taking.
on the wolves here.
I mean, Fiddlesticks needs to just run the hell away.
Right.
And it sucks, right? Because all the camps that are respawning for him are on the bot side. But
So the bot lane
you
decides to collapse on the Warwick here.
yeah, and definitely by doing that, that's a much better choice. But he just gets out with a blast cone or something, and then goes and takes bot scuttle.
Darn blast cones. They need to get rid of them.
See Warwick pinging that ground.
He's
He
like, I want
wants
that
it.
too.
But he'll settle for his own camps.
Yeah.
Not even. He's just gonna go run over and get that blue.
And I mean, you know, unless Fiddlesticks decides to gank, which he's not going to hit 6 yet, right? Warwick has a pretty good idea that he might just go to his Krugs, right? So, I mean, jungle tracking and stuff, you know. So, if Fiddlesticks goes to his Krugs, you know, Warwick could perfectly well just be on the Rift Herald without being seen. The ward in the Pixel Bush, or I think that's in Pixel Bush, that might not, yeah. On red
Yeah.
side, like, that wouldn't see if you enter from the top side of the Rift Herald. And you can see Rumbles moving up and clicking the blast cone, probably. Warding, might even be checking if Fiddlesticks goes for those Krugs. So they have perfect setup for Rift Herald if they want. And yeah, Fiddle's on Krugs, so, you know. Because, I mean, like, those are the only things that he can farm. He's not ready to gank yet because he's not 6.
They spotted Warwick going into the pit, so they know he's on it.
Yeah. Olaf's coming down, but, I mean, you're just going to get sandwiched by Warwick and Fiora. And,
Big
like,
trade.
yeah, but he hasn't picked up his axe.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a problem. Warwick's taking some damage, but
Oh.
yeah,
Crimson ults Warwick off
he
of
should
the.
be able to kill the Warwick. Maybe not. So
Is
much
that-
healing.
Triumph and Qs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If Fiddle was 6 there, I think it's a different story.
yeah,
But him being 5 still
yeah.
put them in trouble.
So at least from like the stuff that I read, Conquer on Warwick isn't like super necessary. Maybe it's better in Conqueror's current form when it's not as healing focused and it's more about the growing adaptive force. But normally, Conqueror for the healing like isn't really necessary on Warwick because by the time you have Conqueror stacked, they're probably dead.
Right. And you just have so much healing as Warwick from
Yeah,
your
like
Q
you don't
and
need
R.
you don't need that extra little bit if you're gonna kill them and still be fine.
Yeah. His passive also healing him a bunch when he gets below 40% HP or something, I believe.
Yeah. So bot lane has removed all of the plates on this turret, just about.
Yeah, Kais is up a kill and 33 farm. I'm sure that
This is we're at a
quite a bit. Yeah, 1300. Clearly.
a huge jungle difference as well. Mid's definitely sizable. Top's pretty sizable. So unfortunately, for what are Pinkwards, AAR is just they're getting like a really early lead just by maybe a misplay because there's some growing pains on what are Pinkwards side. But they get that lead and they do not let go.
Yeah, I think a lot of these early leads boil down to the early jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And in that one, the Warwick was able to kind of snuff out the Fiddle by getting his entire bot side jungle and then his own entire jungle.
Yeah. We were like, vertical jungling, wouldn't that be nice? And I just said, nope. Man, that sucks that the Ignite was what finished that and that it went on to the Janna.
It doesn't hurt as much as a shutdown, though. There is no shutdown on the Rumble, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, much rather go to either Fiddle or Jin there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so hopefully they can maybe get the dragon off of this still. Mordekaiser really should be walking down if they were gonna do that, but it looks like they just back off of it.
Is Warwick 8?
He is 8. Fiddle is only 6.
Yeah.
But they're now converging on Warwick.
Kaisa go first onto Jin there.
Warwick, nah. So definitely, I think if they had tried to go for the dragon, then
They forced the ulti out, which could give them an opportunity to go for the dragon.
There's just so
Warwick
much
would have to flash into the pit
awkward
instead of.
positioning, right? Jin's on the opposite side over here, and he tried to ult, but immediately has to cancel his ult because Kaisa just ults onto him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fiora's just top doing Fiora stuff.
Fear was really nice to delay Kaisa, but I don't know if they'll be able to
They
chase.
can't catch up.
She's too fast.
That's a Swifty's Jin too. There's not many people. So Warwick takes advantage of all the chaos, drops Herald mid, gets 3 plates for himself, and
Still,
red team still has to back off the dragon.
yeah, they still get dragged.
And Fiora gets all 5 tower plates plus solo turret gold plus she's got 4 kills. Let's see that gold difference.
Yeah,
She's got
Wow. 2.6k over the Olaf.
that's like a whole legendary item.
Yeah.
Oof.
she's basically another Janna on top of him.
Yeah. Yeah, and man.
Kill going to Kaisa there.
Yep. That was I wasn't watching when Jin went there, but the fact that his wave was already at the other tower,
Yeah.
you know,
I think that's you need to get the heck out because they are crawling in that area.
yep.
Yeah, so far what these games have come down to has been the early pressure that AAR has been able to exert on.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of so Brown mentioned at the end of the last game that what are Pinkwards were playing too passively, and I think at that point in the game that was very true. In this game, I think they're playing too aggressively,
And, get
and
in trouble.
now they're at the point where they can't stop playing aggressively, or they'll never have a chance to come back into the game again.
Yeah.
Whereas if they had stopped after the first 2 kills, played safe, just warded things up, maybe they have more of a chance.
That's tough to see. That Fiora's
Yeah.
just so far ahead, there's nothing the Olaf can do about it.
Yeah.
She's even
He can
built
R and
the
still get this down.
So like right now, they really need to slow things down, but they just can't.
Yeah. I mean. Oof.
I just don't even know
Yeah,
if
we're
that's
just
what they
gonna-
need to do yet. I think they're already past the point where they can slow down. Maybe not. They've only lost the 1 tower, but it is an 8k gold lead at 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
Is
that's,
there-
if they slow
how-
down, it's gonna be like you still lose out on a lot of things just trying to slow down to try and keep yourself in the game. And I don't know if since they're super new and they have some new faces and are new to working with each other, right? They might not know when that moment is that you need to just chill for a little bit, and like it feels
What's-
bad when you have to just wait. But it's
What's
for
the
better.
current goal lead on the ADCs?
Probably about to change, but about 2K.
2,000 up on the Kaisa.
Alright, Jin gets a
Gets
kill
a
into
return.
Thresh, and Mordekaiser should be able to. He does kill the Rumble in the death realm, so that's 2 good kills. Olaf here is kind of,
Gonzo.
and that's gonna give Warwick the free second Herald.
Yep. So definitely, I think in this case, right, it's like when they do get their lead, and I mean, they knew that basically besides Kaisa, everyone was accounted for top, right? They could have just all been bought to try and push that because you were gonna probably lose the Rift Herald anyway, even though you're not even gonna lose it right now, apparently. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Guess they're saving it as a snack for later.
So, in this kind of scenario, I would say you'd have to just abandon the top lane, top laner
Yeah.
wise. Olaf isn't not going to be in this game.
Yeah.
He's -5, and Gore Drinker. If it was old Gore Drinker, maybe, but with the uh, with the nerfs to it, I don't see it being super get back in the game. So I think what he needs to do is Iroh needs to leave mid lane and split push, but he needs to do it safely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely warded, and like, you know, it's like if you see more than one, that means that you actually have an advantage elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they
That
definitely
Fiora
need
is
to
going to be
use
an
that
absolute
knowledge.
nightmare in the side lane, though.
Yeah, I mean, she
It's
doesn't even have a
gonna
bit
take
pick.
at minimum.
She's got her
Right.
Ravenous Hydra, which is all she really wants to like thrive on.
Uh.
But I'm sure a Trinity is coming at some point.
Yeah.
They saved the tower there with the fiddle ulti, but the Jhin didn't have enough mana to W to finish off
And-
to catch the Thresh.
And he's still low on mana, and they're trying to go into like a dragon fight here. They do catch
Yeah.
the
Holy shit,
Warwick and
that
get a
Rumble
shutdown.
ult, that Rumble
Yeah.
ult was so far.
They're gonna
Yeah.
get the Thresh too here, just about. And if they can
Yeah.
just turn on Rumble, Fiora has teleport, right? But you know she's perfectly happy doing this.
Kaisa Rumble might be able to turn this.
Where is Olaf?
He's right
Oh,
there.
I'm right
Yeah,
there.
but
He's there. He's helping. He got a kill.
he got burned down by the Rumble ulti.
Yeah.
They
They might be able to catch the Kaisa. Nope. And I think definitely Olaf was kind of like planning on trying to stay B so that he could try and pick this up.
There's the
Luckily, he
Fiora
does
split
stop
push.
the Rift Herald before it gets another charge. Because having that damage on your Nexus turrets is just not fun. So
Fiora has to have an ungodly amount of gold in her wallet right now, right? I'd expect like an entire
2600
Triforce.
2600 right
Yeah.
now. So she already had a long
Close to.
sword, so this should be pretty close to almost a full Trinity Force.
Right.
Yeah, so now that it's been a couple minutes after the dragon actually spawned, it's gonna go down.
I mean, we saw a fight. We saw a glimmer of hope there. But unfortunately, this time, you know, Peter's playing his most played champion, Fiora, and he had managed. It was really smart, I think, for Peter to pick up the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
You know, it meant Warwick didn't have to pussyfoot around trying to decide where he should drop it. Warwick could focus on the dragon. Your split push just gets the split push. Here's another
at this
big
Rumble
Rumble
ulti.
ulti.
Man, this is still going. Warwick goes down
Four-man
again, though.
Fiddle Fear.
Yep. Rumble is in there, but they have enough shields and stuff to sort of make it work.
Kaisa's
Kaisa's
big.
very,
They need to
very
turn on her.
low.
They need to. She's in there.
Jhin almost has fourth shot. That's a great
There it is.
shutdown.
950 gold shutdown for Jhin. He's gonna die to the
Oh.
Thresh here. Iroh though, it's just one Olaf
Yeah,
versus
he-
one Thresh.
But I mean, he has other things to think about, right? There's
Well, he
there's
can't.
super-
He can't
His
save.
base.
Yeah, he can go to those. All right, gets himself.
Now Fiora
Third
hasn't
kill
been
in a
in
row.
any of these fights, right?
Nope.
Right.
If you're Fiora, you're just saying worth. She's gotten.
Dude, it's the best feeling ever when you just get to do that, though.
A 4
Look
for
at what the
4 and you're
super
getting
minions
towers. Yeah.
She's clearing out Rowdy's jungle. Rowdy has caught up in one level. He was 3 levels down. Now he's only 2.
Progress.
That was the Fiddlesticks and the Mordekaiser stopwatches. So their next team fights, they won't be able to last near as long.
Yeah.
With the constant ticking of the Mord passive or the Fiddle ulti to keep them sustained while they're fighting. Warwick is just
starting
solo
there.
and Baron.
I don't think he can actually do it by himself. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
But, they've got enough people now.
With Kaisa there, these two could easily 2-man it, but with Rumble, Rumble actually went Night Harvester as well.
Huh.
Instead of like Leandri's, so.
I like that they're, trying their best to open this up.
Yeah.
Warwick almost goes down before the Baron goes down. Man, they need more Grievous. I mean, that's the thing, they don't have any. And I mean, I guess, that's the problem of being so far behind, right? You just can't afford to do the thing that keeps them from snowballing.
The slow, the speed, but the Q.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is both times
That
we've
might
gotten,
be game.
Oh. Yeah. Both
Yeah.
times that we've
Fiora
gotten
can win super.
that Jin's gotten really close to killing someone, he's wound up his W right in like auto attack range.
Yeah.
They do get to be consoled by killing the Warwick one more time before the game ends.
But Peter's just like, team?
Just tanking the turrets.
Team?
Jesus,
Oh.
They
They
can't
could
quite
use a
end.
treble. That was a good flash.
Oh, that
And yeah,
E
Crimson
just
Shade
barely
probably
missed.
is.
good lantern. Yeah, you
The
flashed that
mastery
master.
flash.
A couple of times.
I think he
even.
deserves it after this game. The Thresh
Yeah.
played very well.
Yeah, bot lane made their own advantages this game. Last game, the winner Pinkwards bot lane made a nice pick early on to shut down the Hecarim before his first back, and so I think because of that, the All American Rejects bot lane wasn't able to shine too much on their own before, Hecarim showed up later and was 12 kills in or whatever. But this game they definitely said no, we want to carry 2 this game, and we pretty much saw wins from every lane. The Rumble's not quite as strong this game as it was last time, but
Sometimes
Last
you have to tank
time
one
it
for the
was-
team.
last time it was just a little like extra. This time he's just the right amount of fit. He's hit some massive ultis. He probably has close to the highest damage in the game because of that, I would guess.
Yeah, his ultis have been absolutely huge. At least 3 people every team fight in it for a considerable amount of time.
Yep.
I think Bidoof heard us during the draft and said, they're questioning my Thresh first pick? Let me show them. And I think he did.
Yeah.
I didn't question.
I mean, it's definitely.
But
just,
I probably would have
it's-
first picked the Jhin instead. But
Yeah, it's
Right.
definitely like different, right? A lot of teams have different strategies, and if theirs is, yeah, we'll just put our support on the thing that he absolutely wrecks at, and we don't care about other stuff. Like, that's just the thing.
all right. Kaiser didn't hit the tab button.
Yeah.
I've fallen victim to that many times.
It's
This is what
Feels
they
bad.
need to do, though. They need to go harder on that Fiora.
yeah. I mean, she's by herself at the moment,
Baron just fell off.
but I mean,
Right,
yeah,
getting
they're kind of
engaged
just
under
letting her
here.
have it still for free.
Yeah.
Iroh wants it.
He
He's
needs
going.
he needs to keep his back, yeah,
He does it.
and then
Takes-
gets plasma procced.
Yeah, but
you take what you can get sometimes.
1,000 gold.
he died 5 times to Fiora, but he killed her in the end, and that's all that really matters.
I love that Jin gets to safely ult from the fountain. That's gotta feel nice.
That's game.
Instead of always being in fear of like, oh man, Warwick's hurtling at me.
I think both games just really came down to that early pressure. I can't.
Yeah. I think that's
Can't-
definitely the name of
yeah.
the game there.
Yep.
Just the jungler for AAR being able to get ahead so
I guess
much.
my spectator's just doing that thing where the game probably ends. And,
Yeah.
well, okay. Yeah, I definitely think both of those games are just like, minor flubs that end up with jungle pressure or other things getting some of that share of goodies. And I definitely, I think what our Pinkwards, they definitely have a good idea on what they're trying to do, but they might not be coordinated enough quite yet to know what to do when they're under pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like you can 5-man again in norms, and it might not be the same thing as doing this here. I guess we can pop up the general.
General.
See if they show up. Wherever it went. There it is.
What's the damage done? Kaisa wins.
Yep. 2,500 more.
Damn.